3 racist black nurses find out patient is WWII vet, have horrific surprise for him now he dead. Thanks to Barack Hussein Obama and his manufactured race war, race relations in our country are now at an all-time low. We have white cops being massacred in the name of justice, with Trump supporters constantly being singled out for whoopings, simply for the color of their skin. Now what appears to be a horrifying act of racism in a nursing home has just been released, after the utterly vile thing a group of 3 black nurses did to a dying white World War II veteran who was screaming in agony from the confines of his nursing home bed. While you read this astonishing story, ask yourself what the response from liberals would be if the racial roles were reversed and 3 white women did this to a black elderly man who had pushed the emergency call button after being unable to breathe. This incident took place at the Northeast Atlanta Health and Rehabilitation in 2014, but the hidden camera footage is just now being released to the public by the family as part of a lawsuit. 89-year-old highly decorated WWII veteran James Dempsey served his country honorably, and probably never fathomed that the worst experience of his life would come at the very end of his years at the hands of a nasty staff of callous nurses. After suddenly being unable to breathe, he pushed the call button in his room 6 times, frantically telling staff over the intercom that he needed immediate help. Help me. Help me. The man's feeble voice can be heard in the video below as he gasps for air and waits for the staff to come assist him. Dempsey had pushed the call light in his room at 4:34 a.m. but it would take a startling 10 minutes for the nurses to get off their butts and make their way down the hall to tend to his life-threatening emergency. The nurse supervisor, Wanda Knuckles, finally made her way to Dempsey's room after being notified by another nurse after the man was unresponsive. Knuckles was questioned about the incident during the deposition by the family attorney, Mike Prito, and throughout her testimony, she was caught lying her ass off about what really happened. Initially, she claimed that she began giving the elderly veteran CPR until the paramedics arrived, but the hidden camera told a far different tale. Not only did Knuckles stop assisting the man after 6 chest compressions, going against the policy that compressions should continue until EMT arrived, but then Knuckles did the unthinkable. As Dempsey's life began slipping away, she and the other 2 black nurses began laughing because something about an 89-year-old white veteran gasping for air and dying is apparently hysterically funny. During questioning, Knuckles simply passed off the entire incident as an honest mistake after being caught red-handed in a lie after being confronted with the video footage. "I was just basing everything on what I normally do." Doing what you normally do? Is laughing while World War II veterans die what you normally do, Wanda Knuckles? Not only did she lie about the chest compressions, the staff did not call 911 until an hour later when nurses had difficulty getting Dempsey's oxygen machine operational. During attempts to fix the issue, you can hear Knuckles and others laughing. Popular Military reported retired nursing professional Elaine Harris reviewed the footage and still cannot get over the horror of what she witnessed. "In 43 years in nursing, I have never seen such disregard for human life in a healthcare setting, is what I witnessed," said Harris went on to criticize the nursing staff, claiming that the nurses failed to respond, assess and act, not to mention the failure to continuously perform CPR. Popular Military went on, "That is absolutely inappropriate. You never stop compressions," concluded. What even more startling is that the Atlanta nursing home tried to bury the story from being leaked to the public, but due to the incredible perseverance of the local news outlet 11 Alive, these women will forever be shamed. Attorneys representing the Atlanta nursing home tried to prevent 11 Alive from obtaining the video. They asked a DeKalb County judge to keep the video sealed and then attempted to appeal to the Georgia State Supreme Court. The judge ruled in favor of 11 Alive and the nursing home eventually dropped its appeal to the state highest court. 11 Alive reported. Investigator Stephen Hafley pointed out that criminal charges need to be immediately pressed against these 3 individuals and that it's ridiculous that the only punishment they received is simply losing their jobs as nurses. On top of that, how these nurses acted was and even normal human behavior. Hafley stated, "On a human level, how could you possibly do that?" Stephen began, "I might not like some of the protesters, but if I saw someone dying on the street, suffering in pain, calling out for help, I help them. It's just a part of being human." Somehow these nurses don't even have that compassion for a World War II veteran, who dying in pain. How did they get to be nurses? James Dempsey died at the age of 89. He was a decorated World War II veteran from Woodstock, Georgia. He served his country with honor in the time of its greatest need. God bless his soul. "I so sorry you were treated this way," Stephen concluded. 11 Alive reports that Dempsey family have reached a settlement agreement with Sava Senior Care, who fired 10 of the nurses involved after the video was brought to their attention. Horrifyingly, this is the first time that Northeast Atlanta Health and Rehabilitation has abused patients, as they continue to have a history of abuse after Dempsey death due to health and safety violations. They even given a 1-star rating from Medicare, and have also been smacked with $813,113 inches fine since 2015. Help make this story national news by sharing. Demand justice for James Dempsey.